Dear Ann Landis, my husband
Dear
and I
Abby,
are in shock.
I'm extremely upset.
For over 30 years.
My son got married in
Dear
April.
Ann Landis.
We were very
I
happy.
thought
Dear
she
Abby,
had
a
been
wife
out
to our family.
since
She's seen a woman, Dear Abby.
She thinks way too much of
Dear
herself.
Abby.
She had to get married.
Dear Pod.
Oh, we are all.
Your whole little bit of how terrible James and I are. Fucking asshole.
First of all,
I need to go to the Apple store right now. It's Christmas Eve. It's Garbage Pail Kid delivery day. I need to go get little Tommy Two-Tone or whatever the fuck it is.
Okay. Tap the brakes, Queenie. I would like the record to reflect. See, this is let's give the people a little bit of a backstory here. Here's a fancy new
They're not sponsoring the podcast, so put it down.
fancy new MacBook Pro.
Like they need it.
Yeah, right. Steve Jobs. Oh, wait, he's dead.
Dead.
Right?
Dead.
Well, and I apologize for my emphysomatic Abe Vigoda cough. This is how I live now. You get to a point with sickness where you're like, well, this is just me.
Get to the first story.
Anyway, so this is a brand spanking new laptop because the last time we were all together, which was 2 days before Christmas, my laptop decided to shit the bed.
Right.
The day that we were doing, I've never felt such heat coming off a device before. It was so hot that basically it was like, I don't want to do it anymore. And that was my computer melting and dying.
Okay.
I was clearly very stressed as we were in the middle of podcasting. Or the beginning.
Yeah.
And all of my stuff was on it. So
is why-
I'm freaking out.
That's why I have paper.
But here's the thing. When it comes to Christmas and Jules and I, we, wrap our presents and we put them underneath the tree ahead of time. I may be that person that goes underneath the tree and looks at some things and shakes a couple things just
You're
to
an
confirm.
asshole. What an asshole.
Because I need to make sure that we have the same amount of gifts. And that, I kind of size things up to make sure that,
Why do you have to shake it? There's only two of you that live here. You look under the tree and you're like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm like,
Okay, there's
well, that
10.
could be a computer or it could be a puzzle. They had the same size box.
Okay.
So I had been bitching in the weeks leading up to this that my computer was slowly dying. It was taking forever for it to boot up.
Sure.
It was, it was sluggish. It was a millennial.
Right. I
And
don't feel like turning on.
I don't want to work for you.
Control, Alt, delete this.
Just start me over again. Keep starting. So I had a weird feeling that maybe this had put something in his noggin of, I think that might be a good Christmas gift. And it's a write-off.
What?
It's a business.
This
So
gift's a shit. It's an expensive gift.
It is an expensive
fuck?
gift. Next year, Manolos. But anyway.
So instead of being surprised, you know what? I'm going to ruin the surprise.
No.
This gentleman
I didn't
has gone
see-
out of his way to get a perfect, expensive gift. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to rifle through my fucking tree, go underneath everything,
It was
and
wrapped.
ruin the surprise.
It was wrapped. I didn't unwrap it and confirm that it was a computer. I just looked and basically sort of sized. I was like, I wonder if. And that was all it was. That's all. However, due to the terrible acting that happened on December 23rd in this house, it confirmed it 10 times over. So the computer dies. I come downstairs. I'm kind of stressed out. Kind of. And I go back upstairs and I'm trying to reboot my computer. I'm trying to, do damage control. I'm trying to, find articles and print things out. Well, the two of you guys suddenly show up there, frickin' frack, with your performance art, being like, hey, you shouldn't go to the Apple store today because it's before Christmas. And
Insta karma. Insta karma. Because that's not how it was.
That is exactly how it was. But
I'm just
I
telling
could
you-
see
I'm
it
telling you the
loud
truth.
and clear
Okay.
because I had never said one thing about going to the Apple store.
You did.
I did
You
not.
absolutely
I
did.
not because I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have
You're
gone
a
to the
liar.
Apple Store
You're a
2
liar.
days before Christmas.
You would have, because
Shenanigans.
that's why we said it. I wouldn't have said, you should go to the Apple Store, Erin, because you're like, I need to go to the Apple Store because I need it for this and I need it for this. I need recipes. I need to conquer the
I wish
world.
your acting was that good that day, because what happened
Well,
was
you're
I
full
did
of
not
beans.
say this. I
You
swear
did.
to God, Your Honor.
Oh, I wish we had the mic on because you absolutely did.
I want to cut to the footage. Roll that beautiful bean footage. I said nothing about
You
wanting
did.
to go to that store because I was so stressed just trying to get the information and trying to rewrite all of my everything that I wouldn't have said. I need to go to the Apple Store and get this fixed today.
No, what you
died.
said
It
was-
died. No, what you said, sir. You come upstairs out of nowhere, which, by the way, when did you ever surface in a different room when you're here? All of a sudden, you're in the living room and you're like, hey, whatever you do, don't go to the Apple Store today. It's going to be very hard
You have,
to get
I think,
anything done.
first of all, you have passed out
It's
with
before
explosive
Christmas.
diarrhea for hours. You've been sick as a dog. You basically are Deborah Winger in terms of endearment. How the hell do you recollect anything like that? Because the reason why James and I were upstairs, because it was at the end of podcasting when you're wetting yourself because you don't know how to regulate your body temperature. And you're like, you had mentioned maybe I should go to the Apple Store to see if they can do something really quickly.
No, it was
and
because
then,
of this.
And then James and I talked about something. I'm like, she shouldn't go to the Apple Store. I'm like, that's gonna be nuts.
I heard you
And
guys
then-
whispering
and
down
then
here.
and then he said, well, yeah, because I just bought her this computer. I'm like, oh, well, obviously she shouldn't go to the Apple Store. So then later, when you're upstairs crying about something or you're on the verge of being sick, that's when I went upstairs and I said, you definitely shouldn't go there. I'm like, you're just going to stress yourself out because you were also traveling with all the baked goods that I brought. You're glossing over that part. And then it might have been a little bit of just like an aside of like, yeah, don't shit yourself trying to go there.
I was upstairs. I'm trying to reboot my computer, and because neither of you understand how to whisper, you
This is
only
at the
stage
this is-
whisper.
this is at the
you
end
were
of
down here.
podcast.
At the, no, this was before.
No.
This is before. I heard. And I was like, he is telling him that there is a computer already on its way, like under the tree. And
So what
I
you're saying
felt
right
that.
now is that you really didn't have an emergency because you're playing Angela Lansbury, Murder She Wrote, trying to figure out what Jim and I were talking
Absolutely.
about.
I had
And
a red
also, it's none
threadboard.
of your fucking business what your husband and I do down here with our pants on.
But so I had a feeling, and the way I
It's
kind
his
of
house.
baited you. So after we're done podcasting, and you come upstairs, and the whole vaudeville performance begins of whatever you do, don't go to the Apple Store. No, sir, it's before Christmas. Save yourself. Don't go anywhere. Keep the old computer for a while.
This is why
Take
people
a
don't like
rest.
you.
I was like, they're putting on a performance. Let me ask a baiting question. Because I'm very smart.
Are you?
Am I?
Jim?
And I was like, well, are you sure I shouldn't go today? Because I never said anything about going to the Apple Store previous to that. I swear. I
Why
swear.
else would we bring it up?
But that's why. That's why I couldn't
You had-
understand.
you had-
That's what I couldn't understand. Why you would bring
you
it
did
up.
bring it up. You have shit yourself for 48 hours straight and were
You know,
unconscious.
You want to
and
come back to that? I was
Yeah.
completely within my right
The
head.
fuck you were. You weigh as much as current day Karen Carpenter.
Current day, she's cremated.
Well, there you go. You weigh as much as her ashes right now.
just trying to get
so
back
you have
to my
shit
birth
yourself.
weight.
Success. Jesus
Basically, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that you're terrible actors, and you should find a new
Well,
career path.
luckily I'm not on a podcast. Son of a bitch.
I want to welcome you all. I think
Fuck
I want to
you.
welcome the two of you. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to
Do you like your computer, or does Jim need to run to the Apple Store today, right before his matinee?
I love my new computer.
Ungrateful.
I give you guys
this
grace.
is why I don't date women. Jim.
This is why.
This is why.
Oh, God. Well, thank God I'm pitching a new fever, because look at that. I'm just breaking
I was
out
going to come in here
hives.
and say, men are terrible.
Tell
You
me
know
about
what?
it.
Women. Am I right?
Am I right, ladies? Whatever you do, you shouldn't do that thing. Don't go.
I'm not.
Don't go to the Apple Store.
I
By the way, if
appreciate
you're
you-
not watching us on YouTube right now for this act out, you are missing everything right now. Oh
No, that's different. And then you're doing the African anteater
no,
dance.
no,
from,
this is from Oklahoma. It's those like pulsy arms.
Oh.
It's drama.
Oh,
What I'm
at
giving
first
you
I
is
thought you were
drama.
giving me that scene in Wicked that everyone has been reenacting, who's in the ensemble of a Broadway show.
Oh.
What's it? Whatever the fuck it's called.
Wicked schmicked.
No, the one when they're like tapping the books and all that shit.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I watched Wicked for the first time. Something was wrong with my television because I rented it.
Oh, you can rent it?
Yes, and it was like around New Year's, and there's a feature where your TV can like relight itself, so it looks like it's HD, but in that weird pan and scan way.
Oh, I don't
where
like that.
Where it removes all like the movie magic.
Yes,
So
yes.
it looks like I'm watching it real time, which looks like shit.
Yeah, I don't want it real time.
So for a half an hour, Mark's like, "Isn't this great?" I'm like, "No."
I hate that.
What is this? Looks like shit. I'm like, this cannot possibly be the vision of the movie.
No.
He's like, no. He's like, are you serious? I'm so like, enamored with it. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, wait a minute. So I don't know where we were in the fucking movie. And I played around with it, and all of a sudden it was like a switch, and then the entire picture changes.
Oh.
And it's like finesse. I'm like, now I got to watch this whole thing over.
I think that technology is trying to outsmart itself,
Yeah.
and it's making things worse.
Yep.
It's like I had to, because I have a new laptop, you guys. I've had to put.
I hope you drop it down the stairs. I hope you trip up the stairs, are unconscious for a week and a half.
I've had to put new apps on it, and Zoom was one of them. And whatever the update is for Zoom, it is not okay with me.
Okay.
Because it follows you around the room.
What?
So, like, as opposed to, here's the screen. When I sit in front of the screen, that's it. But if I'm Zooming, now it's like if I'm walking out of the screen, it follows me. It's like the eyes following you in a portrait. And so,
Well,
like, if I sit down,
I don't want
it
that.
zooms in on my face.
No. Like, what if it accidentally zooms in on, like, the lotion and the Kleenex that are on either side of your computer?
Exactly.
Right?
It's
like,
like
oh,
because
no,
it's
I wasn't
looking-
jerking off.
No. It's like scanning dildo, and then it will
Right.
focus on that, and you're like, what? But I didn't want that.
No, that's not mine. I live alone. That's not mine. Someone brought it.
I'm
here.
holding it for a friend.
Yeah, I'm holding space for a new penis.
I'm gently holding it by the fingers,
Just by the head.
just
By the
gently.
head of the penis.
But I hate that feature.
I don't do
Also
Zoom.
because I do therapy on Zoom, and there's nothing creepier than talking to your therapist while there's a slow close-up on your face, and your face is coming closer and closer, and I don't know how to stop it. I'm not even moving around. It's just wanting to get closer.
You can't turn this thing off? And by any chance did you talk to your therapist about how ungrateful you were on Christmas?
Yes, I started there. But I was like, but I'm seeing you on a new laptop that I had no idea was going to be under the tree. It was a very large
she then
surprise.
disconnects. She's like, oh my God, my new laptop broke. Oh no, she just hung up on me.
Oh, everybody, I want to apologize for my fifth
Behavior?
disease of
Oh.
this. No, behavior. I stand by my choice. I stand.
You stand by lying to everybody about what actually transpired. That's cough
Cough break.
This is great.
This is horrifying.
It's okay. There's no microphone in front of you.
I am on a multitude of drugs. I am on doxycycline. I am on Advil, cold and sinus.
Is this
I am
where
on
is this where
Delsum.
Jim puts like an undercurrent of like
Like some music.
melodramatic
Yeah,
music?
something with a bit of a
violin?
strings.
Oh, I don't know if that was like a
Let me-
giant like shaft.
Just
and
a
some
huge,
balls.
and it's coming towards my face.
Just like a
It
just a fuzzy dildo.
looks like you're playing mandolin, but it's just a huge cock and balls.
Right.
Everybody. Let me tell you, I went old school on this sickness. So I had the norovirus, as we know. My abs looked great.
Okay.
And then I got hit with, I think this was the flu. I don't know. I've been on my ass for
I'm
days.
so glad I'm sitting this close to you right now.
Come here, let's make out.
Absolutely.
This
not.
is why you hate women.
You're like, confirm.
That
Right. Yeah, this
right,
part.
that's the
Ugh,
part.
The
That's
touching,
the one. The whole,
tongue.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get old school on this because I'm so good at finding cold meds. I'm usually good at finding the mix of things. But moth,
Most people are because there's a whole section at Dwayne Reed or CVS.
there is, but you got to find what your concoction is. Like, because
Okay.
Tylenol, that stuff doesn't work for me. Advil, cold and sinus, I stand by it all the time. I think it's a great medicine. And then I found an old school cough syrup, Delsum.
Works like a charm. Seems like it's working well.
What a great ad.
Wait, is Delsum the one with the ad of the tiny little thing of mucus with the hat and the briefcase?
That's Mucinex.
Oh,
Mucinex does not work for me. It just dries me out, but it doesn't stop a cough.
okay.
Delsum is that like little clock. It's a little orange clock that's like Delsum 12-hour.
Oh, I thought that was fake.
It pretty much is. Delsum lasts maybe 12 seconds on me.
Okay.
There's nothing that can help me
I
at this
thought you
point.
just said Delsum was your jam.
No, I thought it was going to be my jam.
Okay.
I was very excited because it felt very. It's almost like I got. What are the old commercials for all the old drugs? Like, what's the one that?
Joseph's chewable
Like, I
aspirin.
love St. Joseph's chewable aspirin. I would give anything for that, but then they'd be like, "Ma'am, you overdosed because you ate them like they were Sour Patch Kids."
Like that's impossible because it's not a real aspirin.
I know. I feel like how much damage can you really do?
First of all, don't make it that like tasty for a child to eat because I think I ate the whole thing of
Yeah.
Joseph's chewable
They
aspirin.
were like, "Ma'am, why did he eat an entire bottle of St. Joseph's? Because you made it delicious."
It tasted like Pez.
Yes.
Yeah, I ate
Oh
the
my-
whole fucking thing.
They were so good.
This
That's
is medication for children. That was so good.
Guys, it was so delicious. Like St. Joseph's chewable on top of your, like just crumbled on top of your cornflakes. Oh, sign me up.
Yeah, or sometimes you can just like break it up and then just put it on someone's chest and then you just lick it off.
Yeah, and then you snort it off.
That's disgusting.
I'm just saying. You still get it. You get like post-nasal St. Joseph's chewable aspirin, drip. We need to bring back a stronger cough syrup, people. I don't know, like we're way too regulated with our cough syrup. I need more booze in that cough syrup.
Have you tried Alka-Seltzer cold and flu?
Doesn't do anything for me.
Do you do it at night or do you do it during the day?
I've done it during the day.
Now, do you do exactly what I just said or do you get the fancy like cold and flu, norovirus, leukemia,
All
heart
three in
disease?
one.
Because sometimes when they conflate it all, it doesn't actually.
It's too much. Right. Well, I done did it to myself. I OD'd myself that first night because I had shows to do, before as this was starting to come on, and I was like, oh, it's not an option. So I put all of these meds in my system at the same time.
Super smart.
Wicked smart. But also, when I was home in Boston, my folks had Coraceid and HBP.
What?
Exactly. You're like, what is this drug that I haven't heard of? And of course, Moth is like, it's from 1983. And it probably is like the original bottle of 1983.
It's in a tin.
Do you know she has penicillin from 1995
Why?
in her medicine cabinet? She keeps all of these old drugs and then she casually uses them. Like when she was feeling sick one time, she casually used a penicillin from 20 years ago. I'm not even making these numbers up.
What's wrong with your parents?
Everything is wrong with these people. They're Northeast hillbillies.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they're one missing tooth away from being like, maybe we should stage an
Like
intervention.
hillbilly elegy?
Exactly. My mother's turning into Glenn Close.
I'd like that. Would be great.
Now, that would be fun.
Yeah.
A
Every
slow
time you show up, it's
transition.
a completely different character. Cruella DeVille, Albert Nobbs.
Where did you get your hair done like that? Amazing. So Coraceid and HBP, which when I had it when I was in their house once upon a time, it was a great cold medicine. For some reason, I took it. Any symptom went away. So I just was like, I'll go and grab some of that. The HBP stands for high blood pressure. It is for people with high blood pressure. I have no blood pressure, just none, no pressure. Okay. So I combined that with NyQuil Severe.
Oh my. This
And
This is a comedy podcast.
I woke up at 1 a.m. and I was like, I know, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I'm sleeping in I'm in a different room from everybody else. I wanted
You
to
weren't with your husband
No, I was far, far away.
because he threw you out because of how ungrateful you were
How
for your...
ungrateful I was
Okay.
about the laptop.
Okay. Just
And
making
I
sure.
was like, but I was also a hero because I was like, I don't want anyone to suffer
Yeah, you're such a hero.
like me.
Is it
then
hard to sleep with the cape on?
It is because it gets caught around your like throat
Oh, that's
sometimes
too
and it
bad.
chokes you
Oh,
out,
you
and then
should-
you're like, this is
oh.
hot.
Okay.
Anyway,
Go on.
so I wake up and I had to stand up to faint. I felt it.
You had to stand up to
I was
faint.
like, something's wrong. I go to stand up. I took 3 steps and I was like, no. And I laid down on the floor and I went spread eagle. And then I woke up, I don't know how many minutes later. I was like,
Uh-huh.
and then I felt great. Once I faint, it's like my body's way of doing a heavy reset. And I was like, whew. All right, back to bed. Do some more endurance sleeping.
This is not right.
Oh, I know.
Okay. So there's like something you're like the back of a TV VCR. Like you have to jimmy the back of it, and then if you bend it, the VCR will work.
Oh, I thought you were going to basically say, I shouldn't, nobody's using me anymore.
Well, I didn't have to say that.
I mean-
thought just Jim's
It's
lack
like I
of
said, I'm like a
eye
Saturn.
contact
I've been
with you.
taken off the road 20 years ago.
Saturn.
Should have been.
Saturn. I was talking about a Saturn the other day.
Bring back Saturn, everybody. And
We were
bring
all
back
so
us.
gung ho with America. We need to make America first. And then we just let this fucking Saturn, first of all, one of the ugliest cars,
Horrible.
and then the plant closes, of course.
The planet closes?
Plant. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think that's
Ladies
my
and
time.
gentlemen, Estelle Getty's on the show today.
As right now, how she sounds right now, underground.
Yeah,
Well,
through a screen door.
I can't think of a better way to slowly welcome you to Dear Pod than to open up my brand new laptop. What? A new laptop? No way! I
Hey,
had no idea
I'm
that was
so
happening.
ungrateful. I'm going to go to the Mac store. It's 2 days before Christmas. What do you think
Why
I
did you
should
do
do?
this? Why
I
did-
don't really know what's happening. Oh my God. I've been crying for 45 minutes about my laptop and how hot it is and it's so cold down here.
Why am I a
So
part of
maybe
a
I
Rhythm
should-
Nation?
I don't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you are not following us on YouTube, you are missing all the fun. So that's my way of saying, welcome to Dear Pod, the comedy advice podcast. I am your host, Steve Jobs.
I'm Nikki Glazer.
And we're coming to you from the Maha Bar, the beautiful Pineapple Ranch. Can I hear it?
Boo! You suck!
All right.
Don't I know it, baby? And this week, like all weeks, we are bringing you the advice articles of Ann Landis and Dear Abby. We're hauling them out and we're giving them some Delsum and some Robitussin and lots of cold medicines that make them pass out dead on their bathroom floor
they
at
are
2 a.m. Well,
They are
bring them back just to make them
Dead again. Dead
Lay 'em
again
up to
with
smack
Nicole
'em,
Kidman.
yak 'em, baby. So what are you waiting for? Follow us on your social medias at Dear Pod Official on your Insta and your face at Dear Pod on the TikTok. How is it still happening? Oh, actually, it's by this point, TikTok maybe adios. TikTok, baby. TikTok. That's the clock running out. Find our YouTube page, youtube.com/DearPodOfficial. Check us out. Smash the subscribe button and put a little comment underneath if you're kind. That was a pause. That was a deep, heavy pause if you're watching on YouTube right now. Slide into our DMs at DearPodOfficial or email us dearpodofficial@gmail.com if you have an advice question that you would like answered by the both of us on the air. I will do it in between coughs.
How much medication are you on right now?
I am on so much cocaine just to get through. You know what? This is the thing about the Advil cold and sinus. It makes me rev a little bit. Ooh, I can feel it in my heart. My heart is
This should be
beating
fun.
3 times this
When does
in
it kick
1
in?
minute. Right now.
okay.
And finally, and most importantly, our Patreon page, patreon.com/DearPodOfficial, where for a mere $5 a month, you can become a subscriber and get extra special tidbits in your inbox every week, such as, our recipes and our shout-outs and maybe anything that involves me passing out and shitting myself, which seems to be the only thing that we
There's,
it
an
should
there's
be,
an
that should
ornament
be the
there.
whole thing.
There's definitely an ornament there.
A pass out shit yourself ornament?
Yes. Like there should be like a series. There should be eyes rolling back, like an Erin ornament where like the eyes are rolling back. Maybe it's like a thing where it actually rolls back.
Oh,
That's
I
one
am
ornament.
Lemony Snicket's a series of unfortunate events.
The second ornament could be like passed out on the floor. Is she dead? Is it a crime scene? No, she just passed out. The fourth is like same bathroom scenario, but it's like covered in brown.
Yes, covered in brown.
And then there's the one on the train when you shit in the train, and then you on a stretcher, obviously.
Obviously. And then don't forget the one in the basement of the church when I was in high school and we were doing a meditation exercise and I passed out and peed on the church floor.
And that. There's also a 3-person one where Jim and I are talking about Christmas, and then you're just ungrateful standing with your hands on your hips like that.
I want that ornament made.
Jim
Somebody
and I yelling at Mr. Pretzel.
Okay, but if you
because
guys
with a red wig.
if anybody makes that ornament, you have to put in extra arms for all of the overacting that was done.
Or maybe
No, we need? We need that scenario Patrick was talking about. We need a Bobby Fingers diorama.
Oh, that would be amazing. If you don't watch Bobby Fingers on YouTube, I mean, I don't like to promote other people's YouTube page, but he's a very talented boy.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly. We'll cover it later, everybody.
Okay.
Ladies and gents, we are well into this new year right now. I've stopped saying Happy New Year to everybody, but Christmas is still up at the house.
It is.
It is
I can
time for
confirm
it to
that.
be done. We are moving on. We are putting it all behind us. And this week we're talking about our favorite topic, which is that we are childless.
Yes.
Or child-free, as they call us now. Child-free is it's basically if we were a milk, we'd be more expensive.
And it's childless by choice.
CBC. Childless by choice
Right.
is the theme of the week. So we have articles that jam with that theme. Yo. But before we go in, are you childless by choice?
Yes, I am. I chose that at age 13.
Agreed. I have never. Now, especially as a
They're
female.
exhausting. Children are exhausting.
Oh my
and
God, and they're
listen, if you want to
terrifying.
have a kid, great. I don't.
You don't have to.
Therefore, I don't necessarily need to be around all the. I love like going in and getting out, like nieces and nephews. Oh, it's wet. It's screaming. This is not my responsibility. Just because you came to mom's house, it's still your thing. You brought like my dog. I'm not going to pass my dog off and someone else. Nope.
I would gladly take your dog over a child any day. But here's the thing. They trust you with their kids. No one has ever, like, if the brand is not so clear, no one has ever asked me to babysit.
Right.
No one has ever even asked me to watch their child when they go into another room.
Well, you don't want to.
And
so
nobody
everyone-
has ever pressured me
the
to have a
stink
kid.
is already in the room. before-
Exactly. It's like Cruella DeVille walks in. I'm walking in with like, a cigarette and a cigarette holder.
I wish you smoked.
I wish I did too. I mean, what with
should
the
start.
emphysema? I might as
Yeah.
well. I'm going to start
That would be
right
great.
now during the coughing.
So when you pass out and your house is on fire,
Exactly.
hopefully Jim has taken that computer before that happens.
I know. Just take the computer and run. It's insured. We bought you insurance. Anyway, no one has ever pressured me to have a child. Nobody, how, like, that's the thing. When you're a female,
Well, how many people were going to pressure you? You only have
oh,
one
like
husband.
family. Everybody talks about
Your
like,
mom doesn't
once
want you
get
to
married.
procreate.
Oh,
She
mom
knows what
already
happens.
knows. Everybody knew.
She doesn't want the lineage.
But even like people who knew me sort of casually, friends or whatever, nobody
Like
has
one-night
ever looked at
stands?
me and said, yes.
Okay.
Could you imagine? They only called to be like, we're good, right? That's not, okay, we clear? Good.
I know it's not mine.
I have never felt pressure, and a lot of females do, but I have never felt pressure to have children, which also makes me go, well, I'm cute. Don't you want more? More?
No, we don't.
Well, I didn't finish the sentence.
Oh, I thought it was
okay.
over.
No, it's fine. I hear you. I see you.
Great.
I don't want to be around your children. I am deeply uncomfortable around kids. I mean, what? Why are you laughing? It's just, can you picture me even like a kid on my lap? I'm so sharp. Everything about me is uncomfortable. Like I would take a kid's eye out with my elbows. I'm not a comfortable person around them physically.
I don't like to talk to children like they're children.
And we've covered that before, which is
Right.
understandable. I don't do the baby talk thing, but more than that, it's like And so, of course, then kids want to be around me more because they smell that I don't want to be around them.
Right. Yeah.
Or just they smell.
They just smell. I just don't. It's either people. I'm not saying like, you know how some parents here kind of talk to their kids as if they're their
Adults.
divorce lawyer,
Yeah.
or like they should already understand sarcasm.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I'm sarcastic to a kid in a certain way where I'm still my information is still getting across, but I'm not shitting on the kid. Some parents talk to their kids like garbage, like as if they're like a garbage adult friend. I'm like, didn't you make this? You made this
Yeah.
organism that is growing.
Well, a lot of the parents, that's the other thing. Parents aren't good salespeople for kids. Every comic who's a parent is like, my kid's an asshole. It's like, well, then why?
Which
okay,
means
so you're not
you're an
advertising.
asshole.
Imagine if you had a product that you wanted to sell, and you were like, I got these Saturns. They don't fucking run.
Right.
You know, that's basically what the vibe is. So it's like people are not endorsing.
I think there should be a test, because
To be
if
a
you've ever worked with parents at a school or whatever, and you see the kid and then you meet the parents, and you're like, oh, fuck, someone put this in the oven too long.
Oh, it makes sense. You mean?
It's like, here's a rotten egg and here's some like rotten
Chicken.
chicken. And
I'm
they
just
put it
following
together.
the line of
They
logic.
put it together, and then there's like a cyclops and like someone who has like a half of a lung, and then they get together and then they make this abominable snowman of a child.
Yeah, this Harry Potter
And you're like,
creature.
what? Who said? What doctor was like, you guys are going to make an excellent baby?
Oh, that would be amazing if we could actually like stop people long enough to be like, look, at least let us pair you up with the person that we feel like can do the best to bring your genes up.
Yeah, you're an asshole. Your husband's a bigger dick than you are, and then you just
Made a dick child.
made a dick child omen. Yeah.
Yeah. We should.
Or if like the kid comes out perfect, and then you meet the parents, and you're just like, what is this? The end of Carrie? Why? What happened to your parents?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how did you come out of that?
I don't know, man. But that's the beauty of genetics, eh? It's the Wild West. It's the Russian roulette of human evolution. We don't know
Genetics are
what we're
fun.
going to get when we mix these two things together. You know what it is? It's that spin art, those spirographs.
Well,
You're like,
I
I'm
also
going to add a
think
little
that
bit
if
of green.
you're-
Oh my God, it looks like shit brown.
If you are sleeping with your sister, you probably should not procreate. And then I think that's what happens with a lot of these kids.
Good luck, Alabama. So we have articles this week that have to do with being child-free, childless, free of the children. Would you like to kick us off,
Yes,
Patty?
I would
Yeah,
love
I
to
see that
kick
you
you.
have paper. I have a screen.
Yes.
So
well, you
I'm gonna-
didn't the last time we recorded.
I know, and
because you
see
were
what went
crying.
wrong? I could barely even read the shit.
This is
you
from
were
the
crying.
this is the Post Standard from Syracuse, New York, Saturday, August 8th, 1992. Childless couples often prefer to remain that way. Dear Abby, will you please tell couples who have children that their childless relatives are not on call as babysitters? I have never told my married brothers and sisters that I would enjoy keeping their kids in my home for any length of time. I am perfectly content to see my nieces and nephews when they are under the parents' control. If I had wanted to take care of kids 24 hours a day, I would have had my own. As a favor to my sister, I took care of her 4 children while she and her husband went off on vacation. Why do people with children assume that couples who are childless would like nothing better than taking care of their children? We never made the offer. Don't they know that people get paid to do this? They did buy us a big basket of fruit, but that didn't begin to make up for some of the stressful moments we had looking after their kids. What do we do if we are put on that spot again? No name or town, please. Signed, Childless by Choice. Dear Childless, just say, sorry, we don't want the responsibility for care and safety. A day or an evening, perhaps, but that's all that we can handle.
If you send me a fruit basket instead of cash, I'm going to shove those grapefruits up your A.
A weekend?
A weekend. And you
Fuck
send an edible
no.
arrangement?
You are being with a child for a few hours. I need to lay down. The amount of concentration of like, what are you going to ruin?
Like, what are you going to... You're going to light yourself on fire.
When do you go to bed? That's
Yes,
my first question.
Why are you juggling those knives?
Right.
Yes. I wouldn't even know. I mean,
Like, why are you crying out of fucking nowhere? Why are you crying?
I don't think that we know anybody who would do something like that unless it's like family. The only time I've ever heard people doing a move like that is a family thing.
Yeah.
And
no.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I just don't understand kids.
This is why if you don't want to do it, you got to make the brand clear, everybody. Nobody's asking me to keep their kid here for a weekend. I'm just saying. Crystal clear. You know what you're getting with me.
I think I'm good with a
I'm
kid.
wearing leather pants right now. Would you trust me with your child? And a shirt that says football?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know the correlation.
A weekend. That's a lot. I mean, it's even Christmas, because Christmas is chaos and it's a whole bunch of kids running around, and I'm like, oh.
If I could have someone who can tag team that child with, let me rephrase.
I
that.
would say yes. You
What I'm-
should rephrase
yeah.
that.
What I meant is that if I'm not the sole provider for this child, where I can, like, I'm on for 30 minutes and then you're on for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And by on, I mean not the child, just conversation and viewing the child.
Very clear
With
here
its-
on YouTube
right.
what we are discussing right now.
Right.
So you're talking about a relay race of care. You're
Right.
passing the baton of responsibility.
It's like if I'm doing small talk with someone for at a party and it's going on for an hour, I'll probably need to lay down. If I were doing small talk with a group of people, I'm only on for a minute. And I can do it. I don't need to lay down.
Yes, because
With
you
the
can.
child, it's like constant concentration.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. See, I don't even understand what that's like because I've never been. I babysat once in my life, and that was with another person. And I was like 15. So she was babysitting, but I kind of went along for like the ride.
But you're the friend.
I was the friend.
You're the friend that gets
I'm
murdered.
100% the one that gets murdered.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I accept that.
You're Rose McGowan.
But I would, if I was in a situation where I was babysitting again, I would actually go out and stand in front of the murderer
yeah, I would look for him.
and be like, take me.
I would like ring the doorbell next door. I'm sorry, is there a murderer here?
Hi.
Do you have any knives? Can you just hold it? And then I'm just going to run into it. I'm going to sign this real quick.
I know you don't want to kill me. I know you didn't come here. Mike Myers, why are you walking slowly away from me? Walk towards me, towards me. I'll walk into your knife. I'll walk into your chainsaw.
Hi, I'm babysitting next door, and I don't want to. I'm just going to give you this paper, and I want you to hold this butcher knife that I brought from the house next door, the McDonald's. Yes. You don't have to do anything. And let me just tell you this: if you have a dead parent or anything, tell me who they are. I'll go see. Once I die, I will do you a favor and pass on the message.
Yes.
If that's. But I need you to murder me right now.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have any weapons on you? Here's the thing. Here's the garage door thing. Like, just all you have to do is press this button. I am going to wedge myself in the dog door of the garage
Right.
door. And when I say go, all you have to do is press the button. Doesn't even have to do with you. It's total accident. Okay.
Or we can do this. Do you have a car in your garage? I would like you to start it, and then I'm going to stand at the end of the driveway, and I want you don't even have to be in the car. Just put a cinder block on the gas and throw it in reverse and have it run me over. If I get up or move, this is when you're going to have to get in the car.
It
and
may
then
take
floor it.
work from there.
Right.
But here's the thing. They asked me to babysit until Monday.
Also,
I can't do this.
Here's a match, and here's some gasoline. You can also set me on fire after you've run me over.
Yes. Do whatever you have to do.
I can amend that note from the beginning when I first knocked on your door.
You've decided to turn a corner now and stop murdering people? Now? When I have to babysit and they're only going to send me an edible arrangement at the end of this shit that's
Maybe
going to
you
be
don't
90% honeydew melon?
If you don't murder me, I will murder you. How about that? Because
But
I
we
just
can't
went through all the
murder the
scenarios
child.
of how to murder me. What makes you think that I can't do that in return?
Exactly. So there you go. Self-defense.
Right. So you either, let's review. I'm the babysitter next door. I need to be murdered by you by accident. If you say no, I will murder you and burn your house down.
Because I will end up getting Harry and David pears. For 72 hours of pure hell.
I'm going to get these nuts that I'm not going to know how to open, and I'm just going to throw them away.
I'm going to get gourmet jelly beans sent to me from the Elizabeth Arden Red Door catalog. If you don't chop and chop my head off.
I don't like these oranges. They don't seem right. And I'm not cutting a pineapple that is in full. I
Also,
don't.
just as a sidebar, I have kind of been dying for a fruit basket. It
I'm
feels
right
like a
here.
very 19th
I'm right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host Patrick
Harry and
O'Brien.
David.
My favorite fruit basket, this side of the Mississippi.
Now
Speaking
your
of this
article.
side of the Mississippi, I have an article from
That's fun.
the News Press, Fort Myers, Florida, Friday, December
Fort Myers?
27, 1996. 96, everybody.
90s.
Childless reader doesn't feel guilty. Dear Adlanders, I am a long-time reader, but I have never felt the need to write to you until now. Your answer to the woman who signed herself childless and happy in PA sent me through the roof. You told her she might change her mind. What makes you think so? I am 41 years old, have been married for 17 years, and am childless by choice. I knew when I was 16 that I did not want to have children. I have changed my mind about many things, but not about that, Anne. You would not believe the insulting remarks people have made to me. I have been accused of being selfish, lazy, and a lesbian.
Dare you?
Dare you? I sincerely hope
I
the
don't even
woman...
own a Subaru.
I don't even have... I have one pair of loafers
I have
from
one
LLB.
key. I have one key. I only have one lock.
I sincerely hope the woman who wrote to you will not be swayed by outside pressure. People who don't want children shouldn't have them, and nobody has the right to make them feel guilty. Not even you, Landers. Sign me, Sympathetic in New England. Was this written by me? 96? No, I wasn't 41. Still not.
We'll see.
Bitch. Dear New England, that letter from Childless and Happy certainly hit a hot button on thousands of readers. Please put on some asbestos gloves and keep reading. And then there were articles afterwards where people are like, what the fuck? Which is exactly how I feel. Well, it's funny because this is women shame women all the time.
Yes.
And
They do it to Jennifer Aniston all the time. That she's
All the
been on-
time?
She was on that circuit of like, because everyone kept saying how terrible, like that's why Brad left her and all that. And then she's like, it is okay to not have a child. And I know a lot of women, including yourself, who they're married, they don't have children, and that's okay. I don't know why everyone feels the need to
make that.
make that like the goal of a woman.
Here's where I have the issue. Well, first of all, like I said, nobody's ever called me selfish, lazy, or, well, people have called me a lesbian, but that's the voice.
I think we've all called you the other ones. But
Oh, always. Yeah, but for different reasons.
selfish, lazy, arrogant,
Ungrateful.
ungrateful
Ungrateful for
sure.
gifts.
Ungrateful in bold type, underlined, italicized.
And italicized.
Maybe just scrolling through the different fonts.
But, like, here's where I have the ish. I have never, ever, everybody's like, well, you'll feel different. It'll change. Something will go off in you, like a time bomb. Nothing has ever happened, ever. Yeah, I've never felt this thing that's like, and I have to now. And I understand that a lot of females do, where you have this, like, I get it. I see it, like, I can understand it logically. I have never, ever felt that thing that other women feel, which is the I have to do this and I have to do this now and I have to procreate, and that's the feel that this need. And I think only women will understand what that is. I'm not one of them, but it's not. No offense. It's like, great, if that's the jam for you, then that's for you. And everybody's like, but you'll feel different. But you'll feel different. And I don't like this vibe of like, well, you're less than because you haven't had this experience.
Right.
And that was, it was like the J.D. Vance thing where he's like, well, their vote shouldn't count as much because they don't understand what it is to have a true stake in this country because they're not leaving anything behind. Was so hit me like between the eyes in this.
Do you carry your
angry-
eyes here?
Well,
Those aren't your eyes. Maybe this is why you don't
where are
have a kid.
these to be? If you can't point to your eyes on your face, you should
probably
not
should
be
not have a
having
baby.
a child because you're like, I don't know how do I keep this thing
Obviously,
alive?
babies come through your nipples. Am I right?
Obvi, where do babies come from? Your ear. They're magical. They're delivered by a snork. I don't
A
like
snork.
that. A snork.
Not a stork.
No.
Snorks
Maybe
underwater.
maybe this is the problem, everybody. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody to say, no, you're not.
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No. But you don't get the same shame.
No.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. What people don't like, people are like, you know what? I can make bread. I can. And then you make it and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, when everyone is like that baking during like the pandemic.
Sourdough
Oh,
starters.
I can make my own cake. I can make my own bread. And then you do it and you're like, I'm not, because everyone's doing it. I tried it. I don't really like it. You can't just try to have a kid and be like, I'm going to put it back
Yeah,
in
but
the
what
box.
if you don't like it?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You either have the calling or you don't. And that's
The
okay.
calling, that's exactly what it is. It's like,
But
and I
there's
know
also-
people who have kids because they feel like, oh, well, they should because at a
Right.
certain age you have to, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then they
Time's
didn't want to
running
do
out.
it. Exactly.
And you're like, you just feel, oh, maybe I should. There was a certain point in my 40s where I was like, oh, that would be nice. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe. But then the reality sits in of, oh, let me really think about what this will do for
What
the
would
rest
it
of my
go-
life.
Like you have for a millisecond
Yeah.
a desire.
Yeah.
Would it be like a you thing or would you adopt? Like would it be
I
one of
didn't
those
really
like
I didn't really get that deep.
nobody's even asked me to be a surrogate.
I don't think you're not going to go to an empty store.
Could you imagine? No, I mean, could you imagine if in my heyday somebody was like, "Will you carry this baby to term?"
When was this
I
heyday?
pay-
What point on a calendar when this heyday?
1925. It was a good year. It was right before the Great Depression.
No, but I think that
There
people
was
are
a
just
chicken in every pot.
people are so like, I think I'll just have a kid, and they don't really run it down like, oh, I'm going to have a kid at this age, which means I won't be able to do this. I'll have this kid. Your life changes, and
Yes.
not just that, but do I have the temperament to be a parent? Do I have the temperament and
The means.
the means for sure?
Yeah.
And I don't think I have a temperament. I have a great temperament to be a good uncle, but I don't think that. And I
don't
know
even-
that I know if
I'm
I
a stay-at-home aunt.
right, and I know that if I had a kid, I would love my kid unconditionally. However,
Comma.
I don't think that I have the patience to be a good, successful dad, and I don't think that I am whole enough to be a good dad.
And I know people who are asshole parents who should have had that thought that you had. but
That's what I'm
didn't.
saying.
So it's like, of all the people, you're like, you should be the father.
So go back to JD Vance. It's like, great, there are thousands of shitty parents out there.
Absolutely.
Just ask every therapist. That's why it's a big
booming enterprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really feed into that point. It's just like when you recognize, it's kind of like taking a home improvement project. Like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to renovate my kitchen. Should I? No. But
Do
I'm
I
going to
know
take
what
the
I'm
doors
doing?
off, and then I'm going to realize before I start painting and doing anything, I am not Bob Vila. I am not. Well, Bob Vila actually didn't do it. It was Norm. I'm Bob Vila. I can direct it, but I am not Norm, which means this kitchen is going to fucking fall apart. So I'm going to stop the project right. I'm going to put the doors back on, and that's it. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go buy a sweater from Park and Ronan and end it.
I like that in the middle of this metaphor, you're like, well, actually, it wasn't Bob Vila, it was Norm.
It was.
But he was like the magic man behind everything.
Which I think
but,
is
yeah.
what the basis of Home Improvement was, right? Tim Allen thought that he was the builder,
Bob
but
Vila.
really it was
the other guy, Richard something or other.
Al?
Hal.
Al?
Al, maybe. Hal Linden.
I hated
Oh,
that
Al.
show. I hated it. I never watched it. But I mean, the thing is like it's tough for me to talk about this stuff, and I'm trying to figure
Home
out how to
Improvement?
talk that too. I'm not good at home improvement, so I don't even try to do that kind of thing. I outsource.
Okay.
So
We'll get back to your
but it's tough
Childless
for
Catwoman.
females to talk about it. I don't know. I haven't found my way in of like discussing it on stage because I feel like even us talking about it right now, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, people are probably really turned off.
Well, no one really wants to talk about kids because kids are boring.
Tell me about it. But
But-
it's it's women who don't want to have kids and don't understand.
I think it's a
There's
trigger.
not many of us
Right.
that are like, I've never felt like there's a lot of women who tried to and haven't been able to. But then there's also like, but there is this small pool of us who's like, I just didn't
You didn't
wanna-
try, you don't want, and that's not your thing.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is everyone looks at you because you have this body that should house it. So it's like, what do you mean you're not? Like, it's
Have
like
you seen this
it's like,
body? This body is barely breathing. This can't even house me.
Well, it's like people that have a kitchen and all they put in their oven is sweaters for storage,
Exactly.
right?
So you're
people
you're
are
not
what
using it.
Right. Why do you have this great kitchen if you're not going to use it?
And I used to have a joke in my act about when you tell women that you don't want to have kids, they act like you're throwing out uneaten cake.
Right.
They're like, that's a perfectly good uterus. Don't throw that away.
Let me
eat
see
it.
your vagina. I'll let you know if that's a good one or not.
Let me check it out. Put your legs up in the air. Come
no,
on.
no. These burners, you don't need this. This is terrible.
That's
Hold
like
on.
having
I lost my watch in there. Hold on.
A
one second.
Formula One car, and you're like, you don't even know how to take this thing out and really open it up. Pun intended.
Yeah.
But
that's a great analogy. Like for guys that don't seem to understand, it's like, okay, so you have this wonderful vintage Porsche. Great. It's sitting in your garage. You drive it once a year. So how is that any, if we want to do that weird analogy, so why do you want women, just because they have the
ability
organs,
to drive this shit
doesn't necessarily mean that is their desire. So
Their
why are you
calling.
putting your desire onto someone else?
Yeah, it's a
that's
weird societal thing.
Like a horrible violation of somebody.
I feel like it has definitely chilled out in the last 10 years because I think
People-
now
women are more
millennials are
vocal.
making it trendy to not have kids, but they're making it about, we don't want to add to the environmental footprint. We don't want to. And I was like, no, I'm actually just up here, the grandmother of this movement, saying it had nothing to do with environment. I just didn't want to do it.
Well, they
I
also
just didn't
don't
wanna do it.
They're not drinking, they're not having sex, and they're not having social
I know, well, because TikTok
anything.
tells them what they should and shouldn't do.
Right.
But, it's like, imagine being told like, if you don't like sushi and everybody's like, but you have to eat sushi. And then you're like, well, what if I try sushi and I don't like it? And they're like, well, then you're stuck with it for the rest of your life.
Right.
With this crab roll.
Right.
Of
So
a
if
term.
you were to bend under pressure and you and Jim were to unfortunately procreate,
Jesus Christ.
and then
What a weird looking
something
kid.
went wrong, maybe on your end, maybe all of a sudden, like my mom had me, almost died in childbirth,
Oh, my God.
and me as well, which is, I think, is why we're sort of bonded.
Like, we went through some shit, yo.
Right. So if the woman, so that's the whole like pro-life thing too. So if a woman was raped, she has to carry this baby, and then
Comedy podcast,
right,
everybody.
and then she dies during childbirth, and then this kid is now parentless. So what was that the benefit?
Ta-da!
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Comedy podcast.
Comedy
correct.
podcast, everybody. Comedy podcast. Just keep saying it
Kiss,
over
kiss,
and over.
love, love.
Comedy podcast, everybody. Please don't cancel me.
But let me just tell you, I did have a wonderful teddy bear growing up, and I think that was probably the extent of my
Your childhood?
yeah.
Did you
and I
did
love
you
him.
frame it? Like you
What-
framed your
Why
pants?
would I? How could I frame?
You
teddy
framed
bear?
an outfit from your
Because it
childhood.
lies flat. A teddy bear is not flat. Why
You
would
could get
I
one of
do-
those weird memory boxes.
What? No.
We've gone
It's
to
at my
a
mom's
place,
house
everybody.
still. It's still there.
Wow.
I threw up on it once.
Oh, I could throw up on it now. So let's do it, everybody. Let's throw up some Instagram mail. I think it's time.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
It's
Time for Instagram mail. I'm not
Instagram
having a
mail.
baby.
I don't
Instagram
have a
mail.
baby.
Everybody drink.
the amount of times I have quoted that in this life. Oh my God, my makeup's down to my ass. Just a lovely time, everybody. That's right, it's time for Instagram mail. Email us, dearpodofficial@gmail.com, or slide into our sexy DMs on Instagram @dearpodofficial, or leave a comment underneath the YouTube page, which is where this week's Instagram mail came from. Patty, share it with the people.
I will. So this is a two. This is a twofer. This is a
Oh, it's a
comment and then a question.
Yes, which we very much appreciate, everybody. Dear Pod Official.
So this is I guess I can use their whole name because they provide.
Yeah,
their whole
I
name.
mean, I
So
assume.
this is from Chris Van Etten.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Dear Pod, your show should begin with a warning or disclaimer. Do not listen while exercising. I listened to your tales of maximum intestinal distress while on the squat rack. I busted a gut and nearly threw my back out twice. Merry Xmas to me for discovering your show. Question. Two married gays travel. Gay A is offered an upgrade from Comfort Plus to First. Gay B is offered regrets only. Should Gay A decline the upgrade out of solidarity? The fate of a marriage rests on your answer.
This is
That is intense.
It is an intense question and one that weirdly we have never discussed. But it should be discussed before you ever get married. But go on.
This before children.
This before children.
Because
Like,
if you're on
whatever.
a honeymoon, which I have yet to take, after
How many
nearly-
years?
It'll be 8.
Oh my God.
I was told-
Patreon.com. Send Patty to Puerto
I was told
Rico.
I couldn't go on one time. Anyway, we can't talk about that. I'll break my NDA. Dear Chris, thank you so much for your kind words about the podcast. While we do our very best to entertain and bring some laughter to our listeners' lives, we cannot safeguard you from soiling yourselves during a workout or from wrenching your back. I know a certain someone that refuses to halt jokes while I'm sipping on a cocktail or bubbly beverage, resulting in that carbonated beverage fizzing its way from the back of my throat up through my nasal passages and back down again, resulting in a violent coughing / choking and eventual release out of my nose on camera.
I love a spit take.
To address the serious matter of an airline upgrade, if I was offered such an upgrade, I would take it in hopes for all the wonderful perks that come with it. I say this knowing perfectly well that the hands of fate will swoop down and bat me about the face left and right like a dominatrix on a Republican. Almost certainly, someone will be seated next to me with a cat, sick baby, nervous tick of conversation, wearing patchouli, or one who has no social awareness and takes the armrest from me. Since I usually fall asleep on a plane, I'd offer that to my partner. Maybe I'm naive and don't deserve nice things, or maybe I'm narcoleptic and I just fall asleep and I don't care if I'm in first class or the last row of a plane. I'm asleep. I don't care. In the case that it's not transferable, if I have to look at the long-term effects of said upgrade. Will this be held over my head during the entire trip? Want to get a second glass of wine? I guess so, since you got that upgrade to first class. Why don't we split an appetizer? It's the least you could do since you sat in first class while I was sitting next to Patrick Dempsey from Outbreak. Should we get another lap dance or just one of us? Typical. You get the upgrade and you get the hot Brazilian with an ass you can bounce quarters off. See, you have to look into the future. The future you. The future regurgitating. Can you stomach that, or is it best to just let that upgrade go to somebody else? I'd rather pass and risk karma. They say karma's a bitch for a reason. And as Maya Angelou said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. There we
I
go.
can't believe that you just brought up Maya Angelou.
Why would I not?
I just hate you.
She's here to party.
I hate you on a level that's so deep, and you're going to understand why in half a second,
Okay.
everybody. I just
Go ahead.
walked into the microphone. First of all, okay, let me answer this, and then we'll discuss some more.
By the way, someone did refuse first class. Or wait, I think someone refused first class for me, and then the reverse happened. I didn't do first class for myself just so we could be together. I'm like, I didn't ask you to.
Oh, they guilted you. That's an interesting twist.
This isn't family. Don't guilt me.
Ava, go to cough, everybody. Here we go.
It's so fun being next to you.
Isn't it fun?
You know.
Speaking of Outbreak, did I
I
mention that I've
love
been
that
making
movie.
out with monkeys lately? That's not one of the ones that I've watched
Don't
during
say
my
this
sickness
because
week.
we joked about that bat soup. Next thing you know, the world shut
The
down
world
for a
shut
couple
down.
years.
Again, I
We're
always
still
say
not
that
back.
we brought COVID here, everybody. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
It was that one weekend in Wahoo,
Acapulco.
or wherever the fuck it was.
Wahoo!
Wuhan.
Wahoo would be way more fun. Like
The
you
outbreak
guys,
from
there's-
Wahoo.
There's a disease coming from Wahoo. Oh wow, that was
They
the
only
end of my
bring back
vocal power.
Joanne Worley. Two different people.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I swear I'll be healthier
I
by
doubt
the
it.
next
I doubt
5
it.
weeks. I really won't. I won't. I'm never healing. All right, here's what Ann has to say. Dear C. Van E., first of all, welcome to the party. We're thrilled you found us. With the amount of times we talk about maximum intestinal distress, as you so delicately put it, we would have to add a disclaimer longer than a receipt from CVS. When we first decided to do this pod, the title would either be Dear Pod or I Shit My Pants. We decided to not make our fan base so niche and went with the erstwhile Dear Pod. And for the record, I think the squat rack would have been a great option too, as a title. But it is a great name for a gay bar. All right, so hold on to your wall sit while I answer your question. When it comes to domestic air travel, all is fair in love and boarding groups. If you want to see how humans will behave in the post-apocalyptic world, look no further than the Delta Gate at Newark Liberty. People have no problem pushing down women and children to make sure their rollerboard gets an overhead bin. I've seen people fake paralysis to get wheelchairs for early pre-boarding, only for them to miraculously recover mid-flight and zip off the plane to get to baggage claim first. I have chased those people onto the tarmac shouting, "It's a miracle, Lord Jesus! Seat 27B can walk! All it took was a 5-hour flight to Savannah!" Maybe it was the blue chips and ginger ale that did it. So, when it comes to marriage, the same rules hold. If one of you gets an upgrade, you take the upgrade. The only spouse giving up that perk is a newlywed. If you have been married longer than a year, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. I don't want to sit next to my jewels on the couch, much less in first class. I'll send him back a champagne and a picture of me eating a slightly better pasta. The airlines barely give you a seat to sit in, so if they offer you an upgrade, you take the upgrade. You can fight about it at your destination. You know what they say. Marriage is a series of compromises that bend you over so many times you eventually end up with your head up your ass. I think it was Maya Angelou who said that. I wrote that down.
I think she did.
Enjoy your time in comfort, plus you lucky son of a bitch, and happy gloating. Ian. We have had this discussion.
Who?
Honest to God, me
You
and
and your
Jules.
lover?
Yes, before any children, religion, any sort of views on the world come into play. It's if this happens, who takes the upgrade? Very important, because we almost had the potential for an upgrade to Hawaii, which is a big thing.
Oh,
That is a 13-hour flight.
That's a good. I'll see you tomorrow.
That could break up a marriage.
Just to let you know, I can fuck up there. Just to let you know, I can have sexual relations up there.
Maritime rule
Yeah,
applies.
I'm just saying. So, but if you go up there, you cannot.
to fuck anybody on a plane, period. The amount of like air pockets and things that how you
I feel like that's just like a lot of gas being trapped, and you're just gonna be more, like, it's gonna be more trouble than what it's worth. There's just gonna be a bunch of like farting and just weird noises. Like your liver's gonna be in a different spot just because that air pocket inside of you.
I'm still laughing at you at a pen in your hand, and you're like, I can fuck up there, by the way. That's what happens in first class. They don't tell you that. Depends on which flight you take. But
Diet
Hawaiian
Pepsi comes
Air,
in can where you are. Diet Pepsi comes in a glass where I'm gonna be.
and seat 3B comes in me
Right.
before we land.
I'm just saying there's no action back here, and there's 9 inches up there that will rearrange my intestines
Why do you think
while
that
I'm
there is
farting
more
uncontrollably.
there's more leg space in
Yeah,
first because
there's-
people are hung?
Right. There's more leg space for your legs to go up and out. Just to let you know.
Oh my
I'll
god.
see you in Hawaii, you son of a bitch.
Mahalo, bitches. Mahalo.
You're
Oh
going
my
to get
God.
a lay. I'm going to get laid. It's
In
going to be
first
different.
class.
Thank you so much.
Why do you think I brought this coconut bra with me? It
There's
wasn't
no,
for you.
There's
okay?
no lights in first class.
No.
It's like the Eagle at 3 a.m.
I want to believe
luck.
that that's what happens. Like, that's why we don't know about what happens in first class. They close that little mini curtain. It's like you're, ow!
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden, like,
Spanking.
queer as folk. What happened up here?
What the fuck? What
Wait,
is that smell?
we all walked through first class, right? So how does
No,
it seem different?
you had to take a left. They didn't let you take that left. You had to take a right, and they're like,
I'm
"Don't
going to go
look."
up there and see what that is. Ma'am, I would
Welcome.
sit down if I were you.
Aloha, welcome to Hawaii.
No, my husband's
Don't
right-
look over there. Don't look over there.
No, my husband's in No, he's not.
He's not anymore. He's not your husband anymore. But I.
There is no Jack, only Zeus. What?
His name
No,
is
it's
Zeus?
I don't understand. is Jack McGillicuddy. There is no Jack, only Zeus.
We don't talk about
so
it anymore.
you don't know him.
Yeah.
And he certainly doesn't know you
So when you
now.
sit down in first class, instead of there being like a pillow and a blanket,
You're
it's
sitting
like
on
banana
someone.
hammock. It's like it's like vacuum sealed, so everything's been cleaned. Like you get your own dildo and your own like ball gag and everything. Like, what the fuck kind of airline is
There's
this?
there's no mask or like barf bag. It's a dildo. It's the mask.
It's like a sounding
it's a
kit.
zipper
It's
mask.
a stretching
Right.
rack.
Yes, it's a Prince Albert kit. Four things of lube, some maybe duct tape, handcuffs.
Welcome to first ass. I mean, first class. Oh, you know what they have at first class? Free drinks, goddammit. And so do we. Where's my little thingy? Here. Oh, you know what it's time for?
Flight attendant
Because
has
it
a
always
whip.
comes back to sex and farting.
Well, the thing is that happens during sex.
Is there
and you just
anything
have
else to
That's
talk
why you
about
turn
in
the
a
radio
podcast?
on. No one wants
Loudly.
to watch. No one wants to hear the sounds of organs rearranging.
They'd
and-
rather hear Amy Grant being like, baby, baby.
I'll tell you what I never want to hear during sex
It's Amy
is
Grant.
Amy Grant singing through her bottom teeth.
And Vince Gill.
Absolutely not.
The sounds of Vince Gill.
If you want to go
you
soft, turn that on.
Soft rock. That's why they call it soft rock.
Soft rock.
Soft-
It can't even be called rock because that's confusing.
Soft pop?
Soft song. Soft song.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't take the choking, everybody. That's what she said in first ass. It's time
Ladies and
for
gentlemen.
specialty cocktail, specialty drink. We're choking
Careful
on
what you
diesel
put in your mouth
this
in first class.
Welcome to Delta. We're throwing your legs over your head. There's plenty of room in my overhead bin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this plane that's going to Hawaii.
Yes,
so
buckle up,
dirty.
Buttercup, and buckle up your neighbor.
It's too
You
dirty
have
to
to put
clean
your
my
mask on
act up.
yourself before you can put your mask on anybody else, am I right?
Don't forget to zip it.
Yes, welcome to First Ass, everybody. It's time for specialty cocktail. This week's specialty cocktail in honor of our child-free theme is called Kids These Days. James Jules Ferris wants you to know why those kids are hanging out on his stoop. Is it because of the dope and the rock and roll? I'm sure I read that wrong, but here we all are, everybody. For this, you will need 1 piece of peeled ginger. Oh, 1 inch long times 1/4 inch thick.
Welcome to first class.
Welcome. It's girthy. This
Times by
what? I'm sorry. What?
1 inch by a quarter is not times.
1 inch long by 1/4 inch thick.
You said times.
Times. Oh. I'm doing compound math, everybody, because I'm smart. Now that I have a new laptop, you need 3 celery segments, 2 inches long, cut into pieces. Jesus
yeah.
Christ Almighty!
Welcome to. Whoa!
Cut into pieces on my face. You need 1.5 ounces of vodka. 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, 2 ounces of ginger beer, 1 stalk of celery cut lengthwise into 3 thin slices to garnish. That's all too much.
yeah.
In the bottom of a cocktail shaker, muddle the ginger until well smashed. Oh, I'm smashed, baby. Then add the celery and muddle again. Add the vodka, lemon juice, and simple syrup. Add ice and shake. Double strain into an ice-filled mule mug or Collins glass and top with a ginger beer, and stir gently. Garnish with the stalk of celery. Here are the tasting notes. Kids are weird, and so is the idea of this cocktail. Jesus Christ, it's the sound of my career falling to the bottom of that glass. This drink reminds me of a kid who put off a school project until the last minute, went on the internet, looked up someone else's idea, changed one thing, and then called it their own. By the way, that kid was me. You had the internet? Good for you. This drink comes from the Jones and McCarthy book. Every cocktail has a twist. This recipe reads like a take on the Moscow Mule. According to the authors, the celery and ginger muddled together add a sharp, vibrant background for the lemon and vodka, helping this cocktail taste a little fresher and not too sweet. I guess this drink reminds me of some of the kids in my neighborhood. Not too sweet, but very fresh. Kids, can't live with them, can't live with them. Enjoy. I think I couldn't have picked a better way to read that last line than to fall all over it, which is exactly how it can't live with them, can't live with them. Oh, shake it. Oh, shake it over to first class, baby.
You know, someone asked me about when we do the podcast, like, you're not really drinking.
Oh.
Like, the drinks, are you? I said, I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you're recording in the morning. I said, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have kids. We're drinking whenever we want.
I don't have a baby. Everybody
Everybody
drink at 9 a.m.
Right.
You're not really drinking those drinks. Well, we have to taste them as a matter of study.
Right.
That's the word.
Preservation.
Yes. Research and
Right.
analysis.
But yes, we do drink them.
We drink these drinks,
He makes
everybody.
them, we drink them.
Because we have to tell you. We have to report on them, and we have to tell you if they're good, bad, or
It's
ugly.
under obligation and law.
Yes, I am. It's maritime law. I'm going to fuck up there. It's so aggressive. Maybe my favorite thing you've ever
Don't
said.
forget my fucking bag. I'll be in first class fucking.
Where
I'll
there's
see you later.
in the overhead bin, where we have plenty of space for 10 rollerboards, and we don't even have them up there because we put a person up there.
There are
A
two,
person.
maybe three people in the overhead in first class.
You can hear them. You can.
Right.
They close the bin.
You can taste. It's clear. You can see it.
Yes, it comes down through that little vent.
That would be horrifying to watch someone have sex on glass.
Oh my God, how nerve-wracking.
No, just watching their body just like
But also, like,
move across the glass.
they're nervous about it too, so they would never like fully relax. They'd be like,
They're constantly clenched so that their body looks good. I know
Yeah.
that's how I would feel.
It's like those movies if somebody lands on glass and then you see things like fracturing around their fingers and they're like,
Yeah. Like a Tom Cruise movie or something.
and be like, are you going to finish? Because we have to get the fuck off this glass.
I can't finish.
I can't.
Everyone's looking at me.
It's too much. What's wrong with us? Aren't you
Where did we
happy that we don't have children?
I think I just blacked out.
Yes, the line stops here, everybody. It stops here.
Do a line here.
Do a line of St. Joseph's chewable aspirin. You know, chewable.
Crucible aspirin.
If anybody knows where we can get that, I feel like we should probably try a St. Joseph's on the air. We've talked about it so much. We had a Viennetta.
True.
To find a Viennetta was really tough. I kind of feel like we were responsible for bringing Viennetta back. I know
just
that
don't
that's
like
a
the
wild
repackaging of it. They kind of like bastardize it.
They made it
was
look
elegant
horrible.
when it first came out.
And now it's this like blue sort of like, this is a kid's experience. Viennetta was never a kid's ice cream.
Ding ding. No.
Ever. It was for the adults. It was for women with manicures
Yep.
who are hosting elegant dinner parties.
Yes.
And now they've made it some
And
good
crystal.
humor looking thing.
No. Like a SpongeBob.
But
like
I do find
popsicle.
it ironic that you and I were obsessively talking about Viennetta for the first 4 years of this podcast. And then suddenly it was like, we're bringing Viennetta back.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we had everything to do with that,
But we
but I'm
did.
saying we had everything to do with
Right.
it. We are cultural icons. Oh, is it time for my beverage? This is healthy. It's got celery in it.
This
When
is
the
a
last-
woman.
This
I'm
is
not
a
drinking-
man.
I'm not drinking
You
a
want
woman.
to trade? Well, apparently I'm a lesbian, so let's do this, everybody. Cheers.
I wish my ass looked like that in chaps.
It
and if I
does.
ever try, I can't imagine.
I
something
wish my
more-
ass looked like that in chaps also.
I can't imagine wearing chaps. Like
How do you
I could
dr-
just.
How do you drink this? The celery is going into my eye. This is some intense garnish. It's you just shoved it. Here's the best thing about this drink. It gets a lot of stuff done. Not only does it taste healthy, but you can put one of the celery stalks right up your nose.
It clears it out.
It literally just clean out all my pipes, which I need.
Then you need to go to first class.
You gotta come to first class. You gotta see what the. I want one person to get free from first class and then run back to coach and be like, "You don't know what's happening up there."
And then someone's, sir, and
Get
then
him!
pulls it
Get
back.
him! Don't put me behind the curtain. I don't want to go back there.
You get off in Hawaii. How was first class? I am so tired. Oh my God.
I
I'm
need a
I'm
break.
going to be so disappointed by you.
Just one guy gets dragged back. I don't want to find the clitoris, sir.
Everybody wants to find the clitoris. Get back in here.
It's like the temple of. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants to find that buried treasure in the movie Mummy. This
That's good.
It-
James.
it's good because I think we like a vodka drink, you and I. We like a
Yeah.
clear booze. It's very brunchy.
Fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the simplest. There's weird thing is
I can't
there's
wait
like
to drive home after this.
I know. Hey, there you go. That's the sound of
That's
celery.
first class.
That's first class, baby.
Sir, no biting the penis. Sir.
Again, sir, there are rules to first class. Now bend over and breathe. Hold on to your right cheek. Hold on to your left cheek.
Yes, it's big. Yes, it is.
Yes, you can get Biscoff cookies after
Breathe.
this.
Or around it, inside of
chips.
it. Whatever.
I really like this.
I said blue chips, not blue nips. Put those down. Stop touching that. Safe word is blue chips.
Yeah, I don't think I want to fly first class.
Yes,
you
you
guys.
do. It's too late. You're already here.
This episode of Dear Pod is mixed and edited by Jim Ferris and is a property of Pineapple Ranch Productions.